Sagebrush Country. The high, dry 200,000 square mile area, probably called Sagebrush Country, but known to geographers as the Great Basin, comprises nearly all of Nevada and fragments of 4 bordering states. Though much of Sagebrush Country is flat land frosted with gleaming stretches of alkali salts, the oyster plains are interrupted at regular intervals by a succession of north-south mountain ranges. Some of their peaks soar over 13,000 feet, with crowns of snow that last through June, and flanks that support a green blanket of grasses, juniper, and aspen. With the borders of this diversified area lie the 2 most redoubtable features of the North American landscape: Death Valley, the lowest, hottest, driest environment on the continent, and Great Salt Lake, the shallow remnant of a gigantic inland lake, whose waters are now 10 times saltier than any ocean. On the map at left, desert areas are shown by patches of red dots. The region's lakes are color-coded according to type. Freshwater lakes are white with a blue outline. Salt lakes are striped and bordered in blue. Intermittent lakes, which appear in times of heavy rain, are white with a broken outline, and permanently dry lake beds are stippled in blue and surrounded with a broken blue outline. This is Sagebrush Country. A gnarled sagebrush lies dormant in the dry season, conserving water until its shallower roots can soak up the first rains. See? This is a sagebrush. That's why we're in Sagebrush Country. A tangle of tumbleweed, its bright branches contrasted with dried mud and shad-scale shrubs, bounces across Big Smoky Valley. On reaching maturity in autumn, tumbleweed plants break from their roots as they roll before the desert winds. Their seeds are jolted free to scatter on the plain. These are tumbleweeds. Spires of rock, sculpted by rain and ice, line the walls of Cathedral Gorge in southeastern Nevada. The spires developed after the drying up of a huge lake that once flooded the area. As the exposed rock dried, it contracted to form thin vertical crevices. Over succeeding centuries, intermittently, heavy rains widened and the crevices eroded the rock surface. Water trapped in the rock's cracks froze during colder seasons and expanded them further. This is an example of dry land. Seen from Big Smoky Valley, the canyons hidden in the deep folds of the Toyaba's steeper eastern flank lie shrouded in haze. The characteristic murk is caused by a combination of terpenes, natural hydrocarbon emissions from the canyon's plants, and fine dust blown up from the arid basin. If this was the phenomenon that led to John C. Fremont to christen the valley in the foreground Big Smoky. This is Big Smoky Valley. In the aftermath of an early morning rainstorm, clouds dispersed to reveal 2 small canyons center just below the Toyabe's crest. Their slopes are blanketed by a patchwork of 2 kinds of sagebrush. The green areas are a species called big sagebrush. The pale browns are low sagebrush, and the ridge dividing the canyons is mantled with the dark green of mountain mahogany. Light green willow bushes line the most canyon bottoms. Here are all the clouds dispersing. cluster of hardy Indian paintbrush blooms on the rocky shoulder of Otter Canyon. This is Indian paintbrush. Moisture-loving monkey flowers spread out to follow a trickling stream midway up the canyon. Look at these yellow flowers. Corn lilies line the edge of a sylvan nook made lush by the waters of Ophir Creek. And these are not related to corn. Hestamons, related to snapdragons, add a splash of color to the dry canyon walls. See? Look at these pretty flowers. Kingston Creek winds through a moist meadow in the Toyalbes. 4 trout species thrive on its water's rich nutrients. Brook brown rainbow and a variety called the Houghton and cutthroat are found only in 4 western states. This is Kingston Creek. An orange fritillary butterfly dances on the stand of watercress blooming in Kingston Creek. Watercress floats upon the water surface in thick mats, held together by long intertwined roots attached to the creek shore. Let's have a close-up look. Here, see the butterfly? Ridges in the Toyalbes